Hey, what's up, everybody? Marcos Villegas here with Shawn Porter. We are in Las Vegas. Fight week. Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev 2 happening this Saturday. A fight in which you're seeing number 1 and number 2. Shawn, you're close with Dre. You've seen him at the gym.
Yeah.
How does he look so far when you saw him the last 2 nights?
I tell you what, man. Andre Ward is always someone you just get excited when you're around him. His energy, his flow. He wears his brain on the outside, and what I mean by that is you can just see that he's in such a deep thought, or or so focused on his mission that it really is, for me being a fellow competitor, it really is an honor and a privilege to be so close to that and see it. He's been at the PC, the Porter High Performance Center. Looks good. He is just, what did he tell me, like just a pound away from the weight, which is awesome. And at this point now, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's willing everything back, working on the recovery, so that he's 100% on fight night.
I just want to know, as a fight fan, you've seen him move around. How does he look? How does he really look when you saw him shadowboxing and doing all that?
He looks good, and I'm like, I put up a post last night, I think it was. He shadowboxed like longer than I've shadowboxed like in a whole week. You know what I mean? Like but you can tell, and he sweats too. Like I don't sweat doing the work. I hardly sweat like when I actually work out. You know what I mean? But you can tell, like I said before, you can tell that his mind is steadily on his mission, steadily on his game plan, and there's nothing stopping him. I'm looking forward to the fight.
Speaking of the fight, let's go ahead and get into the specifics. You have a power puncher in Sergey that I honestly feel he's very underrated in terms of his boxing. I think he's a lot better than what people give him credit for, against a guy in Andre Ward who is a very complete fighter, very high IQ. So for you, what makes the difference really in this fight?
You hit the nail on the head. I think Kovalev, a lot like you, I think Sergey Kovalev is underrated when you consider his boxing ability. Maybe he may be in some way underestimated for that, and his punching ability. The man can punch. He put Andre Ward down in the second round of the first fight. I think that you like you said with the ring IQ, definitely one of the most intelligent fighters, athletes that I've ever been around. And Andre Ward, the adjustments will be made, have been made, and I think he'll win this fight more decisively than the first.
How do you see it going? Do you see it being a back and forth tussle, or do you see one guy or the other jumping on whichever very early on from the fight?
Yeah, I do. I expect to see Sergey try to come out and jump right on Andre Ward. I think Dre is going to be smart about the situation. I think he's going to manage the fight. I think he's going to manage his energy very well. I think he's going to make Sergey do everything that he wants him to do, just like we've seen him do in past fights, just like we saw him do against Sergey, but it took a little longer. That's what you expect. That's what happens when elite fights elite. It becomes very competitive, and at some point, someone has to take over and make it through the fight. I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be competitive early on, but I expect Andre Ward to take over and win the fight decisively.
By decision, or there's been some talk too. Ward feels confident he could stop Sergey.
I don't see a knockout, but if it were to happen, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? This is boxing. Anything can happen any time. You know. But I do think that it's going to take Andre Ward being sharp for 12 rounds, for every second of every round, and as long as he is, he will remain victorious as the champion.
Speaking of the first fight, it's really been something of contention with fans. You got Ward fans saying, no, he came back from the knockdown and he won a lot of those rounds. You got Kovalev's fans saying, like, no, with the knockdown, and even with that, yeah, it was a close fight, but because of the knockdown, it nodded Kovalev over 1 point in the fight. How did you see the first fight?
Yeah, I mean, my dad and I, we score each round right after it's done. We say, Kovalev or Ward, and we kept it up, and I think we made it probably after about the 5th or 6th round was when we started to really not focus so much on scoring the fight, but yelling for Ward, because we saw him coming on even stronger, I think there was really just a round separation between Ward getting the win or Sergey getting the win. It was very, very close, and like I said before, I think adjustments will be made, and by both camps. But I think that the adjustments will be made by Ward in the way that he'll be able to win this fight and manage it and win it decisively.
It's kind of a weird feeling, no? Because you were in a close fight with Keith. It was like a really close fight, a lot of swing rounds, and being now on the outside in, right? Seeing that dynamic play out.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I felt that one. I felt Andre Ward won, you know? So yeah, it is what it is. At this point, you know, we fought Andre Berto a few months ago now, and now we're mandatory for that WBC title that Keith Thurman has in his possession. So we want to take that from him as soon as possible.
Speaking of your division, we just saw Errol Spence beat a guy that you fought in Kell Brook. What did you make of the way he approached the fight and he implemented his game plan in there?
He did a very good job. He did a very good job. I thought the fight was close up until 6 rounds. I think I had it dead even after 6 rounds. And then a lot like Ward and KOVALEV, Errol Spence started to pull over and take over the fight, and even made him take a knee. I just thought he was strong, smart, did all the right things, and that's what you're supposed to do. So congratulations to him.
Looking at that performance and looking at the performance you had against Kell at the StubHub Center, what can you take from that, and what do you think was missing on your end now, seeing that Errol was able to beat Brook and showed a way to beat him?
Errol did what I didn't do. Errol was patient. Errol picked his punches, and he did, and he handled the fight. He managed the fight very well. Unlike me, I went in there for 12 rounds, literally trying to knock someone out, trying to hit him with every punch that I threw, and knock him out with every punch that I threw. So definitely the patience that Errol Spence showed was definitely seen, and it showed up. You know, I think the patience that he showed in the fight, it proved to work for him.
Do you think you'll be able to fight Keith this year, or do you think that you might have to wait, given that Spence and Keith are both look like they do want to fight each other, and it seems to be pushing towards that direction as well?
Well, we have to wait for Keith to get healthy. He just had the elbow surgery. After that, we'll make sure he understands that we're in a mandatory for this fight, and no one's going to fight you before I fight you. Simple as that.
Well, I can't wait for that rematch. It's a good, close fight too. Very competitive fight. You know, let me get your general sentiments too of the announcement that happened yesterday with the fight. Like, what do you? No, why not? Is it something you think the Mayweather McGregor fight?
I'm not going there.
No.
No, I'm not going there.
Is it something that is bad for boxing?
You know, like the first probably 3 interviews, I was like, I'm not talking about it. Then somebody else got me to talk about it a little bit, and now you. So I'm going to say this. I'm not talking about it right now. Nothing personal, nothing like that at all. I just don't want to talk about it. Maybe one day I will.
One day? As in Saturday?
No.
Friday?
No. I'll be there.
I'm going to buy you a movie ticket, and then we're going to talk about it in the theater.
All right. You might get that out of me. To be honest with you, you might get that out.
But McGregor's going to knock him out, bro.
Huh?
McGregor's going to beat Floyd.
No.
No? Why not?
I don't know.
No, I don't think McGregor's going to knock out Floyd.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to talk about it, but it's going to make a lot of money. I will say that about the fight.
It's a crazy amount of money. I think it might do more buys than the Pacquiao one, which is crazy because this is this guy's first fight.
Yeah, it definitely will. It definitely will. Yeah.
Shawn, as always, man, thank you. I know you want to go eat, so I'm going to go ahead and let you eat, man. Shawn Porter, hopefully you make a return at some point at the end of this year, right?
Hopefully.
This year.
This year.
This year. September, October, November.
We're going to do what we can to get in the ring before December 31st. How about that?
Okay, all right. Shawn Porter here in Las Vegas, Marcos Villegas this weekend. Sergey Kovalev, Andre Ward happening on HBO pay-per-view here at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, Nevada.